Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight we're going to be continuing reading Animorphs number 2, The Visitor by K.A. Applegate. Yay! Woot! Work! Got something for you. A baby mouse. A mean baby mouse. It keeps trying to bite me. Tobias flew in a low, tight circle overhead, disappearing behind the tree branches, then reappearing. Are you ready? I took a deep breath. I gave him a wave. Sure, I was ready. Why wouldn't I be ready to have a hawk hand me a mouse? Just your normal kind of thing to deal with. Tobias flew low and slow. I held out my hands, cupped together. With amazing precision and perfect timing, he deposited the mouse in my hands. Don't let it bite you, Cassie warned. Rabies. Wonderful, I muttered. Just one more fun aspect of this night. Actually, I was glad for the warning. The mouse was squirming in terror, trying to get away. I could feel its tiny little mouse legs scrambling against my palms. You should all get rabies shots, Cassie said. Seriously, I already have mine, but if we're going to be handling wild animals, in the meantime, be careful to keep his teeth away from you. I wasn't planning on feeding him my finger, I said. Hey, wait. Cassie pried open my hands to get a better look. That's not a mouse. That's a shrew. See the eyes? They're too small. The tail is wrong. That's not a baby mouse, Tobias. It's a full-grown shrew. Sorry? Is that bad? Cassie shrugged. I don't know. I just know it isn't a mouse. Wait a minute, Marco said, beginning to grin. Rachel is going to become a shrew? How will we know when she's changed? How do you become what you already are? Everyone was too nervous to find the joke very funny. We felt kind of stupid, standing around on some stranger's lawn playing with rodents. I mean, there are times when the whole thing just seems so utterly insane, you know? Okay, I have to concentrate on inquiring, so everyone shut up, I said. Acquiring is what we call it when we absorb a sample of the animal's DNA. The DNA is the stuff inside the cells that sort of serves like a how-to manual for making the animal. When you acquire, you have to think hard about the animal, focusing on it and blocking everything else out. Then the animal kind of goes limp, like it's in a trance. It takes just about a minute. It was easy to focus on the shrew. What with its squealing in terror and squirming to get out of my hand. But it was gross, definitely gross. I know there's nothing really wrong with shrews, but still, they freak me out a little. When I was done, I opened my eyes. Okay, little shrew, thanks for your help. You can go now. I'm not sure this is a good idea, Jake said doubtfully. Really? Marco was sarcastic. You're not sure it's a good idea for Rachel to turn into Shrew in order to lure a vicious cat down from a tree so she can morph into that cat and sneak into the assistant principal's house? Who warns you about that plan? Cassie looked worried too. You know, Rachel, usually a cat will play with the mouse a little bit, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they go right for the neck bite. The mouse or the shrew dies instantly. Be careful, Rachel, Tobias said. I'll be watching, but be careful. I don't want anything to happen to you. He said it so only I could hear. I could tell because nobody else reacted. I looked up at Tobias and winked. I knew he would see it. I rubbed my hands together. Okay, let's do this. I concentrated once more on the shrew. The shrew is now part of me. I don't know how it works, but it does. Somehow, thanks to the Andalite technology, the DNA of that shrew was stored away inside me. It was like having a map to guide me as I transformed. Not that I had a clue how I was able to do it. The first sensation was a shrinking. It's a long trip down from being 5 feet tall to being less than an inch tall. It's like falling, except that you can feel the ground under your feet the whole time. 1 minute I was looking Jake and Marco and Cassie in the face. Next minute their faces seemed to be zooming high up above me. I was falling down the length of their bodies. It was like they were huge skyscrapers and I had jumped off the roof or something. My outer clothing fell around me like a big collapsing circus tent. It made a slight grinding noise as my backbone collapsed into a size smaller than my little finger. There was the disturbing, not quite pain sensation that goes along with some morphs. Like, you knew it should hurt, but it didn't quite. I could feel the tail sprout from my tailbone, a long, hairless tail. Not at all attractive. My legs practically disappeared, they were so small. I was a chubby little ball of fur, no more than 2 inches long, with 4 tiny feet. Then the fear kicked in. The shrew's fear. It hit me so hard I began to shake. I rattled with terror. I quaked with terror. I was surrounded. Predators everywhere. I could smell them. I could see them. Huge, looming, slow-moving creatures standing over me. Rachel? You okay down there? It was Cassie. She lifted the folds of my clothing off of me. I heard the voice and sort of understood it, but it was more like distant thunder. It didn't really mean anything. At least not to the shrew. It was looking for a way out. Its brain might have been terrified, but it was also amazingly smart. It was evaluating every possible escape route. It was measuring the distance between the 3 sets of legs. One set of legs moved slightly. I was off like a shot, running. Blades of grass seemed 6 feet tall. Twigs were like fallen trees I had to scramble over. My little feet moved with incredible speed. I scooted past a beetle that seemed to me to be as big as a dog. Rachel, you have to get control. I knew they were right. I even sort of understood what they meant, but the terror was so strong, the urge to survive was so powerful. And at the same time, there were other feelings. Hunger. I smelled nuts. I smelled dead flesh. I even smelled the maggots squirming on the dead flesh. And I wanted them. I know it's too gross, but I wanted to eat those maggots. Heavy pounding footsteps behind me. I turned sharply and ducked under a bush. The steps went barreling by before stopping and turning back toward me. They were faster than I was, but not as agile. I could get away. I could get away and find the dead smell and gorge. Rachel, it's Tobias. The shrew is in control. You have to assert yourself. Tell it to stop running. Fear. Hunger. Rachel, listen to me. You're getting away from us. You have to take charge. Fear. Hunger. Run. Grass and twigs and dirt, low scratching branches over my head, the smell of food, the smell of a dog that had urinated on this bush. More loud footsteps and far-off rumbling voices yelling. They were trying to catch me. But I was fast. I was clever. But not clever enough. I ran out from under the bush. Like a shadow inside a shadow, I felt it descend on me. Terror like nothing I'd felt before swept over me. Something deep inside my shrew brain cried out. It was the ultimate fear, the ultimate horror. It was the enemy I could not defeat, and it was coming for me. God, yeah. Luckily, I wasn't holding that cough back the entire time, or else that would have been fucking maddening as hell. But yeah, that was just, let's see, that was just chapter 7. And Rachel has morphed the shrew. It was, God, it's like this isn't one of the moments, but this is sort of on the edge of, should kids really be reading this? Like, I grew up with this, and nowadays I'm like looking back, like, how did I fucking survive it? Because, well, morphing is this cool thing. It's awesome. You see, you have to deal with the animal brain. So if you have a scared mind like a shrew, you have to deal with it, and so you can take control and continue on with the mission. And this is not the most horrific time, at least one of the Animorphs has lost control in a morph. There's one morph that's going to be coming up in the next few books that is, yeah, it was so bad that the Animorphs are like, yeah, we're going to cut off this one sort of animal and never again. And it was only later on in the series that they decided to lift that. Because holy shit, can controlling an animal brain get very terrifying sometimes. Just, wow, just very terrifying. I think that chapter was decent-ish. I sadly didn't get all the time I wanted to practice this time around, which probably showed. I mean, I'm always doing such a great and excellent job. So, I would like to hear your opinions on this chapter. Please comment below. Just remember, minor spoilers are okay. Like I just said that there's a really horrific morph and a classification of animals was ruled out. But I said nothing specific, you know, so I just said a general thing. So if you haven't read the series yet, completed the series, you won't exactly know what I'm talking about. A major spoiler would be that one scene. of the morph that just sends everyone into nightmares. Because yeah. Because that is definitely a scene you need to read for yourself for the first time, not expecting it, and just God damn, yeah, that's just, because that's one of the scenes where it loses a little bit of its impact if you do not experience that for yourself for the first time. Yeah. And so, if you would, God damn, these outros are fucking terrifying. Alright. But anyways, let's try this again. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to this channel so that you can see more videos like this when they're uploaded, and maybe some videos like this that are, you know, of actual fucking quality. You know, who knows? Maybe one day I'll make something of quality. If you're watching this on my blog, jashyoucanstopblogspot.com, you can see I posted these episodes slower on the blog than on YouTube. But, you know, if you want to be alerted to the next time a new episode comes out for this, and you just want to follow my blog and on my YouTube, there's a follow by email, and you'll get alerted every time there's a new post. Sometimes the posts are actually good. And if you have watched this and you're like, this seems to be actually a really interesting thing, I want to experience this for myself. And, you know, because this book and this series are totally awesome. So if you're like, how do I get a copy of my own? If you are watching this on YouTube, there's a link in the description. If you're watching this on my blog, jashyoucanstopblogspot.com, there's a link to that at the bottom of the post. Now, if you click on that, you will be able to get a copy of the book in various formats. So if you like one format over the other, if you want a used copy, you can get one. Now just have fun and enjoy the series that was my childhood. And we're going to be doing the shots. And it's not really shots now, it's like I take some sip of an alcohol and ta-da. So if you want to join in, if you drink alcohol, you know, get your favorite alcohol, liquor, whatever. And if you don't drink alcohol for whatever reason, like I have water in here tonight. So glad I didn't accidentally spill that because I'm fucking clumsy as hell. And, you know, just drink something healthy. I'm drinking sake per usual. So the things I guess we'll be sort of toasting tonight is that season finale of Game of Thrones. As someone who doesn't ship Jon and Daenerys, I really felt bad for what they had to do for the sex scene. That was more an exposition scene. And hopefully next season Jorah is given his due credit. Because it's like he's just been shoved off to the side. And like at the final shot of the finale, not the final shot, the final shot of boat sex, was Tyrion looking on jealously. And it's like, isn't that sort of Jorah's thing? Now, why isn't Jorah there to do that? Because it's like Jorah's like pushed away from something, you know, Jorah is joked about a lot, and it's like pushed away. It's like, really? I'm sorry, I think part of the problem of Jon and Daenerys for me, besides the pacing, is how the season just shoved him off. Like, Jorah and Daenerys, whether you ship them or not, ship them like me or you don't ship them, they have a deep connection that has spanned a lot and endured a lot, and they don't have a single scene together of just them talking. I mean, I would go for a non-romantic scene of them just discussing about Daenerys apologizing and Jorah, of course, forgiving her again, and them just discussing where they stand. Because right now I can have this, I'm putting it into the long fic of Jorah and Daenerys deciding to use Jon to strengthen her claim of, uniting North and South. And that's actually, it can be totally valid because there is no scene between the two telling otherwise. No scene between the two telling them exactly where their relationship stands, so I can just say it happens off screen, which is a big problem with this season. So I'm really hoping next season is better, and even with the rush pace, they'll be able to do something, better. Especially with Jorah and some of the other characters, like who's ruling Dorne, what about the twins? Like, there's been so much shit that's left up to your interpretation, and it just sucks. At least Ian Glenn is sexy, so yeah. And also, I won't really say what's going on right now, but I am enduring some stuff for moving, and it's getting really stressful. So if you want to send some good vibes, prayers, just well wishes, whatever your belief system is, send that way. That would be awesome. And here. Okay. I'm sorry for the long rant about Game of Thrones. I ran a long fic and going to probably ruin my life for that, so it's like, yeah. And until next video, goodbye.